In this video tutorial, I will explain how end users can define their own dashboards in Where I Am. Most web applications have dashboards displayed when the user logs in. Dashboards usually display some lists, charts, forms that give the user an overview of the most relevant data in the system. The look and feel of the dashboard is prepared by the developer of the application, and so it reflects the opinion of the developer of what this most relevant data is. However, some users may have a different opinion about that, and so it may be important that users themselves can adjust the look and feel of the dashboard to tailor it to their specific needs. Different users may have different opinions, and so it is also important that dashboard layout changes can be saved per user. Where I Am has a feature that allows users to do just that. First of all, I will show you what a developer has to do to enable this feature in the application. To enable dashboard editing, the developer has to modify a particular tab of a visual perspective that shows the dashboard. For more details about visual perspectives, please watch the corresponding video tutorial. We will be modifying the team efficiency visual perspective of the Sales Portal sample application. Here it is. We can see that this perspective has quite a few content panels laid out in a particular fashion. Let's allow users to modify the look and feel of this perspective. To do this, the developer has to indicate that a particular tab in a visual perspective is editable by the end user. So we go to the main tab of the Team Efficiency visual perspective, and tick the User Can Edit Layout property. That's all we have to do. Before we look at how layout editing works for end users, I must say that it depends on the layout chosen for the tab. Responsive Grid Simple and Responsive Grid Nested layouts work differently compared to all other layouts, so I want you to keep this in mind. We will first look at the editing of the responsive layouts, such as the layout of the Team Efficiency perspective. Let's see now how the user can change their layout. So this is the Team Efficiency perspective again. First of all, let's see what our current layout consists of. We have two rows, a row at the top and a row that contains everything else. The row at the top has two columns, Team Efficiency header and date filters. The row with the rest consists of two columns, list of employees and the rest. The column with the rest consists of three rows. The first row has three columns, and the other two rows have one column each. To start layout editing, the user can click the right mouse button anywhere on the layout and then select the Design Dashboard command. This brings up the dashboard editor that looks like this. Notice that the editor added controls for each row and each column in the layout. Here we have controls for the top two rows, for example. And here we have controls for individual columns within a row. Using these controls, you can delete a row or column, add a row or column, move rows and columns around, change their widths incrementally, or change the settings of the column. Let's, for example, add another column here. So we'll make this column smaller to free up some space, and then click on the Add Column here to add a new one. Suppose that the user wants to display the total sales of the employee above the employee details. To do this, we just move the rows around, like this. If we now close the editor without saving the changes, the new layout will only be remembered for the duration of the session. If, however, the user saves the changes by pressing this icon here, then the changes will be retained when the user logs in next time. So when we refresh the browser and go to the Team Efficiency tab, we can see that the sales are displayed above the employee details, so the changes have been saved. Note that the changes will be remembered per user. If another user logs in, he will not see the changes of the first user. Factory settings can be restored by pressing this icon here. So when we log in again, we can see the original layout as defined by the developer. Note also that the look and feel of the layout can be done on a desktop, on a tablet, or a mobile phone independently. For example, on a tablet, there is not enough room to display these three columns next to each other. So let's display them underneath each other by increasing the widths like this. Like I said before, the user can add new columns to the layout, like this, for example. What will be the content of the new column? The user can either specify his own custom HTML using an HTML editor here, or he can select from a list of content panels not yet shown on the dashboard. Here, all content panels are shown, so there is nothing to choose from. However, a developer can provide content panels that will be hidden initially and which the user can make visible. Let's do this. So as a developer, I envisage that the user may want to add a query showing top-selling products, for example, to his dashboard. So I will add this query as an invisible content panel to the dashboard. Note that I select Hidden Initially property for the content panel. Now the user can add this query to any column in the dashboard. So it's that simple. Like I mentioned before, layout editing for non-responsive layouts is quite different. There is no flexible editor where the user can change the layout as he wishes. The only thing the user can do for non-responsive layouts is change visibility of the content panels. Let me show you. So here we have the CRM sample application and the dashboard tab. I will modify the layout of this tab from responsive layout to a vertical layout so that content panels are displayed underneath each other. I will also make the tab editable by the user. And I will add the fifth content panel to show staff members. And this content panel will be hidden initially. Let's see how this works in the browser. So here we can see the content panels of the layout displayed underneath each other, 4 of them. So to edit the layout, the user can click the right mouse button, just like the responsive layout, and then select Control Dashboard. Here in this dialog, you can change visibility of content panels. So let's turn off Chart and display staff members instead. So when we click Apply, we can see that the chart is not displayed, but the staff members content panel is displayed. So you can see that editing of these layouts is quite limited compared to responsive layouts. However, everything that you can do with non-responsive layouts can be done with responsive ones. So we recommend that you use responsive layouts wherever possible.